The bitter cold of a Detroit February cut through Elena Cruz's thin jacket as she balanced a tray of dirty dishes through Carmelo's dinner rush. Tips had been terrible tonight, barely enough to cover this month's electric bill, let alone the student loan payment due next week. Then she heard it, a sound that made her blood freeze. Not the clatter of silverware or the hiss of steaks on the grill, but a wet, choking gasp that cut through the restaurant noise like a blade. Her body moved before her mind caught up. The tray crashed to the floor as Elena vaulted over a chair, her worn sneakers sliding on polished wood. Booth 7. A little girl, maybe 6 years old, with dark curls and terrified eyes, clutching her throat. The woman across from her, dripping with expensive jewelry, had frozen with her wine glass halfway to her lips. She's choking. Oh my God, she's choking. Elena was already behind the child, arms wrapping around the small torso. It's okay, sweetheart. I've got 5 sharp thrusts. Nothing. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. The girl's lips were turning blue. 6. 7. Come on, baby. Come on. 8. A piece of meat shot across the table, and the girl sucked in air with a sound like tearing fabric. She coughed, gasped, and burst into tears. Elena held her, feeling the small body shake. You're okay now. Her own heart hammered so hard she thought it might crack a rib. 3 years of waitressing, and this was the first time she'd used the Heimlich maneuver from her EMT certification. The one she'd paid for by working doubles for 6 months. The one she'd gotten because her little brother had choked on a grape when she was 12, and she'd been too small, too weak, too useless to save him. The restaurant had gone silent. The woman was crying now, mascara streaking as she reached for the girl. But the child clung to Elena, fingers digging into her stained uniform. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Elena gently transferred the girl back to her mother. She should be fine, but take her to a doctor, just to be safe. Yes, of course. The woman fumbled for her purse. Please, let me give you something. A reward. I'm just glad she's okay. Elena was already backing away, aware of her manager Mario glaring from behind the bar. Broken dishes meant money out of her paycheck. That's when she felt it. The weight of someone's stare, so intense it raised the hair on her neck. Booth 12. A man sat alone in the shadows, untouched food in front of him, phone pressed to his ear. But he wasn't talking. He was watching her. Even from across the restaurant, Elena could see he was different. His suit was too expensive, his posture too controlled. He held himself like a predator at rest, dangerous even in stillness. He ended his call, stood, started walking toward her. Elena's first instinct was to run. Miss, he said, and his voice was like aged whiskey, smooth but with a burn. I need to speak with you. Up close, he was unsettling. Not because he was ugly, the opposite. Sharp angles and perfect symmetry, but something cold in his dark eyes suggested he'd seen things, done things, that most people only had nightmares about. Sir, if you need something, I can get another server. That was my daughter. In booth 7. The girl you just saved. Elena's brain stuttered. I thought the woman said, my ex-wife. I was across the restaurant when it happened. By the time I saw, you were already there. Elena glanced back at booth 7. The woman was hugging the girl, both crying. She didn't look like someone who'd just been in the same room as her ex-husband. She looked like someone trying to pretend he didn't exist. I'm glad I could help, but I need to get back to work. What's your name? The question was delivered like a command. Elena's spine straightened. Elena Cruz. Elena. He said it like he was testing it. I'm Dante Moretti, and I owe you my daughter's life. The name hit her like a slap. Dante Moretti. Even someone who worked 60-hour weeks and went straight home knew that name. Dante Moretti, the devil of Detroit. The one prosecutors had been trying to take down for a decade. The one who supposedly controlled everything from the waterfront to City Hall. A mobster. Mr. Moretti, I appreciate your gratitude, but you're coming home with me. The words landed between them like a grenade. Elena actually laughed. Excuse me? My daughter is traumatized. She won't let go of my ex-wife, and Katerina isn't equipped to handle this. Sophia needs someone calm, someone competent, someone she trusts. She doesn't trust me. She doesn't even know me. She held on to you. After she could breathe, she held on to you. She hasn't done that with anyone since her mother left 2 years ago. His voice dropped, something raw breaking through. Since then, Sophia barely speaks, barely smiles. Doesn't trust anyone. Elena followed his gaze. The little girl was peeking around, her mother's shoulder, dark eyes locked on Elena. When their gazes met, Sophia's small hand lifted in a tentative wave. Elena's chest constricted. She knew that look. The desperate hope of a scared child looking for someone to make them feel safe. I can't just leave my shift. Yes, you can. Dante pulled out his phone, tapped something. A bank transfer notification. To Mario Russo, owner of Carmelo's. $50,000. Your shift is covered. For the next month. That's insane. You can't just... I can, and I did. My car is outside. Get your things. No. Elena crossed her arms. You can't buy me like you just bought my boss. I'm not going anywhere with you. Something flickered in Dante's expression. Surprise. Like he wasn't used to hearing no. I'm trying to help my daughter. She's terrified. She needs someone tonight who makes her feel safe. His gaze flicked toward Katerina. Someone like you? Before Elena could refuse again, Sophia slipped out of the booth and walked over. Small, wobbly steps. Her hand grabbed Elena's wrist, surprisingly strong. Will you come, please? And Elena, who'd spent her whole life being smart, being careful, made the worst decision of her life. Okay. Just for tonight. Dante's expression didn't change, but something in his eyes did. Relief, maybe, or satisfaction. Just for tonight, he agreed. But Elena had the terrible feeling he was lying. The car was exactly what Elena expected. Black, expensive, tinted windows. Sophia climbed in first, curling into the corner. Katerina followed, already on her phone, composing herself like she was heading to a cocktail party. Thank you again, Katerina said, her smile bright and empty. So brave. Dante climbed in beside Elena, and the tension was suffocating. Sophia has school tomorrow, he said. I'll have her back to you by 8. Actually, Katerina drawled. Marcus and I are flying to Miami tomorrow. Extended trip. You'll have her for the next 2 weeks. Silence. Heavy and dangerous. You didn't think to mention this when you brought her to the restaurant tonight. I'm mentioning it now. Her smile never wavered. Besides, you've been complaining I don't give you enough time with her. Sophia pressed herself smaller into the corner, and Elena saw how this dynamic worked. The mother who couldn't be bothered. The father who tried too hard. The child caught between them, learning to disappear. The drive to Dante's house took 20 minutes. When they pulled through massive iron gates, Elena's breath caught. The house wasn't a house, it was an estate. 3 stories of stone and glass, gardens sprawling in every direction, a fountain in the courtyard. This is where you live? This is where Sophia lives when she's with me. Dante was already out, opening Sophia's door. Come on, Principessa. Sophia took his hand, but didn't let go of Elena's wrist. The 3 of them walked inside like a bizarre chain gang. The interior was overwhelming. Marble floors, expensive artwork, a staircase from a palace. But it didn't feel like a home. It felt like a museum. Sophia's room is upstairs, Dante said. I'll have Mrs. Chen bring tea. You'll help her get ready for bed. Wait. I thought I was just coming for tonight. Dante looked at her, and for the first time, Elena saw something vulnerable. Please, just tonight. Help me get her to sleep. Help me make sure she's not scared. And because Elena was apparently incapable of good decisions where scared children were concerned, she nodded. Sophia's room was the only space that felt lived in. Pink walls, stuffed animals, drawings everywhere, a canopy bed with fairy lights. But something about it felt sad. Like a stage set nobody actually used. Sophia changed into star-covered pajamas and climbed into bed, her eyes never leaving Elena's face. Like she was afraid Elena would disappear if she blinked. I'm not going anywhere. Not until you're asleep. Can you sing? Sophia whispered. What would you like me to sing? Anything. Just stay. So Elena sang. The lullaby her mother used to sing before cancer took her voice, then her life. Arroró mi niño. She hadn't sung it in years, but the words came back. Sophia's eyes finally closed. Her breathing deepened. When Elena slipped out, Dante was in the hallway, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, eyes closed. She's out, Elena whispered. He opened his eyes. Thank you. I heard you singing, he said quietly. My mother used to sing that song. It was my mother's favorite. Was? She died when I was 16. Dante nodded slowly. Mine passed when I was 12. The shared recognition of loss hung between them. Mr. Moretti, Dante, you saved my daughter's life. We can skip formalities. Dante, I should go home now. You don't have a car. Damn. I'll call a ride share. At 11 at night from a location that will show this address? That's a security risk. For who? For you. The moment you leave this property, you become a person of interest to people who watch me. He moved closer. Stay tonight. In the morning, I'll have a driver take you home discreetly. No one will connect you to me. And if I insist on leaving now, then I'll assign you security. 2 men, minimum, watching your apartment, everywhere you go, for at least a month. That's insane. That's reality. Dante's voice hardened. I live in a world where my enemies would torture you for information, then kill you to send me a message. I don't know if anyone marked you tonight. Probably not. But I'm not risking your life on probably. The absolute certainty in his voice stopped her protest. This wasn't paranoia. This was a man who knew exactly how dangerous his world was. One night, as Elena followed Mrs. Chen to the guest room, she caught sight of Dante slipping into Sophia's room, sitting on the edge of his daughter's bed, his hand resting gently on her dark hair. She'd just stepped into something far more complicated than a simple good deed. She'd stepped into the orbit of a man who would burn the world down to protect his child. The next morning, Elena woke to a knock. Not Mrs. Chen, Sophia. The little girl stood in the doorway in her star pajamas, clutching a stuffed rabbit, eyes red-rimmed. Hey, sweetheart. Bad dream? Sophia ran across the room and threw her arms around Elena's neck. I thought you left, Sophia whispered. I woke up and you weren't there, and I thought you left like everyone leaves. Elena's heart cracked. I told you I'd stay until morning. And it's morning now. But you're going to leave now. It wasn't a question. A statement of fact from a 6-year-old who'd already learned that people don't stay. I have to go home. I have my own apartment, my own life. Mommy left. Nana left. Everyone leaves. Who's Nana? Papa's mom. She died before I was born. Sophia hugged her rabbit tighter. Papa says she would have loved me, but she left anyway. Sophia, came Dante's voice from the doorway. He stood there in fresh clothes, hair damp, but his eyes shadowed. You shouldn't be bothering Miss Cruz. I'm not bothering her. I'm asking her to stay. She has her own life. We talked about this, but I need her. Sophia's voice broke. Please, Papa. Please let her stay. Dante's expression was unreadable. I'll have Marco bring the car around. Dante, I'll compensate you for your time. Mrs. Chen will have a check ready. He was shutting down. Elena could see it happening, walls slamming into place. I don't want your money. Everyone wants money. Not everyone. Elena stood. But maybe we should talk. Alone. After Sophia was sent to get dressed, Dante closed the door. Say what you need to say. Your daughter is traumatized. Not just from last night, from everything. Her mother leaving, being shuffled between houses, growing up unable to trust anyone. I'm aware. Let me stay. Not forever, just for the 2 weeks while Katerina is gone. Let me help Sophia process what happened. Let me be someone consistent, someone she can count on. You're a waitress, not a therapist. I'm someone who gives a damn, which right now might be more valuable. Elena moved closer. That little girl just almost died, and she's terrified. And the one person who made her feel safe was me. Let me be that for her. Just for 2 weeks. Dante was silent for so long, Elena thought he'd refuse. What about your job? You already paid Mario enough to cover a month. More silence. There are rules if you stay. You don't ask about my business. You don't talk to anyone outside this house. You don't leave the property without security. The last one seems excessive. If you stay, you become connected to me. Someone my enemies might target. The security isn't negotiable. Elena wanted to argue, but his certainty stopped her. Fine. Sophia has therapy twice a week. Tutors 3 days a week. Art class Saturdays. Swimming Sundays. Maybe she needs less structure and more time to just be a kid. Time to fall apart before she can put herself back together. Something defensive flickered across his features. I'm giving her every opportunity. I'm not criticizing. But sometimes kids need to know it's safe to fall apart around you. I'm not a man people fall apart around. No, you're a man people are terrified of. But maybe your daughter needs you to be just her father. Not the devil of Detroit. Just dad. Dante stared at her. I don't know how to be just dad. The admission hung between them, raw and painful. Then we'll figure it out together. For the next 2 weeks. Dante nodded slowly. Mrs. Chen will show you to a room closer to Sophia's. Marco will set up security protocols this afternoon. Can I trust you? The question slipped out. Dante held her gaze. To keep you safe? Yes. To not make your life complicated? No. He moved toward the door, then paused. Thank you. For staying. For caring about someone you don't even know. Maybe that's the point. Sometimes caring about strangers is easier than caring about people who can hurt you. Something flashed in his eyes. Understanding. Then he was gone. Elena wondered what she'd just agreed to. The next few days fell into an unexpected rhythm. Sophia warmed to Elena, speaking in whispered sentences, actually smiling occasionally. They spent mornings in the garden, afternoons reading, evenings playing board games. Dante was there but not there. Elena would catch glimpses of him, always in motion, always on his phone. He'd eat breakfast with them but barely speak. He'd check on bedtime but never stay long. On the third night, Elena found him in his study at 2 a.m. She'd been getting water when she'd seen the light under his door. She knocked. Come in. Dante sat behind his massive desk, paperwork spread everywhere, amber liquid at his elbow. He'd discarded his jacket, rolled up his sleeves. He looked less like a crime lord and more like a man drowning. Can't sleep? Elena asked. Could ask you the same. Water. She held up her glass. You? Work. What kind of work keeps you up until 2? The kind that funds Sophia's education, her therapy, her future. Her father being present in her life. Dante looked up sharply. Excuse me? She had a nightmare tonight. Called out for you, but you were locked in here. Elena set her water down. She cried herself back to sleep. Guilt flashed across his face. I can't always be available. Can't or won't. You're scared of failing her, so you're not trying at all. You're giving her everything except what she actually needs. And what does she need? Dante's voice was raw. Tell me. You. Not the man who controls Detroit. Just you. Flawed and scared, and not having all the answers. What if that's not enough? What if I'm not enough? Then you'll fail. You'll make mistakes. You'll hurt her sometimes. But you'll be there. And that's what matters. They stood in the dim study, and Elena saw the truth. He wasn't a monster. Just a man who'd made terrible choices and was drowning in the consequences. My father was brutal, unforgiving. He raised me to take over the family business, to never show weakness. Dante looked at his hands. I swore I'd be different with Sophia, but I don't know how. Then unlearn it. Start over. Be the father you needed instead of the one you had. You make it sound easy. It's terrifying. But so is watching your daughter pull away because she thinks you don't want her to need you. Silence fell. Dante pushed his glass away. Tomorrow I'll take her to the park. Just the 2 of us. She'd like that. Will you come? I thought it would be just you 2. I'm not ready to do this alone yet. I need someone there who knows what they're doing. He paused. Please. Okay, I'll come. As Elena turned to leave, Dante called her name. You were right. About everything. I am hiding. I am scared. And I've been failing her. Then stop failing her. It's never too late to start showing up. The next morning, Dante canceled all his meetings. He came down in jeans and a sweater, and Sophia's eyes went wide. No work today, Papa. No work. I thought we could go to the park. Maybe get ice cream. Sophia's face lit up. Really? Really? They took one car. Marco drove but stayed with the vehicle. Sophia ran to the playground, her laughter carrying back. She hasn't laughed like that in months, Dante said, watching his daughter with wonder. Maybe she just needed permission to be happy. They sat on a bench while Sophia played. Elena pointed out how she kept looking back to make sure they were still there. She's checking we didn't leave. She does it constantly. Every few minutes. Visual confirmation. That's my fault. After Katerina left, threw myself into work. Didn't realize Sophia was falling apart alone. You can't change the past. But you can change today. Sophia ran over, breathless. Papa, did you see me on the swings? I saw. Principessa. You were very brave. Will you push me? Please? Uncertainty flickered across Dante's face. But he stood. Of course. Elena watched as Dante pushed Sophia, counting each push. Sophia giggled, her dark hair flying, her face pure joy. Elena felt something shift in her chest, something warm and terrifying. She was getting attached. To Sophia, but also to the man trying so hard to be better than his worst instincts. After the park, they got ice cream. Sophia insisted on trying all 3 flavors. Which is your favorite? Dante asked. Yours. Can I have another bite? Dante handed over the entire cone. Sophia beamed. They walked back slowly, Sophia between them, holding both their hands. Marco watched them in the rearview mirror, something unreadable in his expression. That night, Sophia went to bed without crying. She kissed Elena goodnight, then turned to her father. Papa, can we go to the park again tomorrow? Dante crouched down. I have meetings I can't cancel. But this weekend, Saturday morning, just you and me. Promise? I promise. She threw her arms around his neck. I love you, Papa. Dante's eyes closed, his arms holding his daughter like glass. I love you too, baby girl. More than anything. After Sophia was asleep, Elena found Dante on the terrace. He was staring at the gardens, whiskey in hand. Thank you for today. For showing me how to be with her. You didn't need me to show you anything. You just needed permission to try. Still, thank you. Elena leaned against the railing. You're doing better than you think. I'm trying. That's new for me. Usually I either succeed or don't try at all. That sounds exhausting. It is. He paused. You're different than I expected. I expected someone who'd want something from me. Money, favors. Everyone wants something. Maybe I'm not everyone. Dante studied her in the moonlight. No, you're definitely not. Something hung in the air between them, something dangerous. I should go to bed, Elena said, stepping back. Elena. His voice stopped her. Be careful. Of what? Of me. Of this. Of getting too close to something that can only end badly. I'm just here for Sophia. Are you? Because it's starting to feel like more. For both of us. Elena's heart kicked. I'm leaving in 2 weeks. I know. This isn't real. It's temporary. I know that too. Then why warn me away from something that hasn't happened? Dante moved closer. Close enough that Elena could smell his cologne, feel his body heat. Because I recognize the way you look at me. And I'm afraid that if you decide I'm a man and not a monster, we're both going to get hurt. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. Because I'm starting to care about you. And people I care about get hurt. It's what I do. Elena reached up, touched his jaw. What if I'm willing to take that risk? Dante caught her wrist. Don't. Don't make this complicated. Too late. It's already complicated. They stood frozen on the edge of something that could destroy them both. Then Dante stepped back. Good night, Elena. Behind her, she heard glass shatter. Dante's whiskey, thrown against stone. She didn't look back. On the 5th day, everything changed. Elena was reading to Sophia in the library when Marco burst in. Miss Cruz, we need to move you and Sophia to the safe room. Now. What's happening? Credible threat. Someone knows you're here. Knows you're important. They're coming. Fear sliced through Elena. Dante? Already on his way. But until he arrives, my orders are to keep you secure. The safe room was in the basement, hidden behind a false wall. Reinforced walls, security monitors, supplies for a week. Sophia clung to Elena, trembling. Are the bad men coming? No one's getting to you, baby. Marco and your papa's men will keep us safe. Marco sealed them inside. Don't open for anyone except me or the boss. They waited. 10 minutes felt like hours. On the monitors, Elena saw men moving through the house, weapons drawn. Then, on one screen, the front gate, a black van, men getting out, armed, moving, with military precision. "Marco, there are people at the gate. We see them. Stay down." On the monitors, she watched it unfold. Dante's men taking positions, the intruders breaching the gate. Gunfire. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. Sofia pressed her face against Elena's chest, crying. Elena held her, trying to shield her from the sounds echoing above, shouting, screaming. Then silence. The locks disengaged. Elena grabbed a wine bottle, pushing Sofia behind her. The door opened. Dante stood there, blood on his shirt, gun in hand, his eyes wild until they found Elena and Sofia. "Papa!" Sofia ran to him. Dante holstered his weapon and caught his pie. "Daughter," hands shaking. "It's okay, baby. It's over." Elena lowered the bottle. "Is everyone—" "2 of my men wounded. The intruders are dead or in custody." His voice was flat. "This is my fault. They came for you to get to me." "Who were they?" "The Rossi family. They've been trying to move into my territory. They thought taking you would give them leverage. They were wrong." Marco appeared. "Boss, we need to debrief. Police will be here soon. Handle it. I want this cleaned up before Sofia sees anything." Dante looked at Elena. "I'm getting you both out tonight. Somewhere safe." "No," Elena said. "No? I'm not running. Neither is Sofia. This is her home. You don't let bullies chase you out. This isn't a playground. These are killers. They will come back. Next time you'll be ready. And we'll be here. Together. Because that's what families do." Dante stared. "We're not a family. Aren't we?" Elena gestured to the 3 of them. "For the last 5 days, we've been something close to it." Sofia looked up. "I don't want to leave, Papa. I want to stay with you and Elena." Dante closed his eyes, wrestling with instinct versus what Sofia needed. Finally, he nodded. "Okay, we stay, but we're doubling security. And Elena, you don't leave this property without a 3-man team." No arguments. That night, after the police left and Sofia was finally asleep, Elena found Dante in his study. He was staring out the window. "How are your men?" "They'll live. One took a bullet to the shoulder. The other was grazed. He didn't turn. I should have seen this coming. You almost died today. Sofia was in danger. Because I was selfish enough to let you stay. This isn't your fault. Isn't it?" He turned, his face ravaged. "You almost died. Because I wanted to pretend for a few days that I could be normal, that I could have something good." Elena reached him, placed her hand on his chest. She could feel his heart racing. "You are good, Dante. Complicated and dangerous and morally gray, but good. I'm a killer. Today I put bullets in 3 men. Didn't hesitate. Because you were protecting your daughter. Protecting me. That doesn't make it right. No, but it makes it human. You're not a monster. You're a man doing terrible things in a terrible world to protect what matters." Dante caught her hand, pressed it harder against his chest. "You matter. That's the problem. You and Sofia both matter more than anything. And I don't know how to keep you safe and keep you close. Then we figure it out together, Elena." She kissed him. Didn't plan it, didn't think, just reached up and pressed her lips to his. For a second, Dante froze. Then he was kissing her back, his hands in her hair, pulling her closer, kissing her like she was oxygen and he was drowning. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Dante rested his forehead against hers. "This is a mistake. Probably. I'm going to hurt you. Probably. You should run while you can." Elena smiled. "Probably, but I'm not going anywhere." Dante kissed her again, softer. "I'm falling in love with you. And I don't know how to stop." "Then don't." They stood in the wreckage of his study, 2 broken people choosing each other despite every reason not to. Elena was in love with Dante Moretti, the devil of Detroit, a mobster, a killer, a man who'd opened his home, shown her his daughter, let her see him vulnerable, a man who was going to break her heart or get her killed or both. And she didn't care, because for the first time since her mother died, Elena felt like she belonged, like she mattered, like she was home, even if that home was built on blood and danger. The next morning, Elena woke to sunlight and the memory of Dante's mouth on hers. She touched her lips, still feeling the pressure of his kiss. "I'm falling in love with you." When she walked into the dining room, Dante was already there. The way he looked at her, hungry, conflicted, desperate, told her nothing would ever be the same. "Good morning. Good morning." His eyes tracked her as she sat. Sophia was eating pancakes shaped like stars, oblivious to the tension. After breakfast, while Sophia was with her tutor, Dante pulled Elena into his study. The moment the door closed, he had her against it, kissing her like he'd been starving all morning. "I couldn't stop thinking about you," he breathed. "All night." Elena's hands fisted in his shirt. "Dante, we need to talk." "I know. About how this is a terrible idea. How it can only end badly." His hand cupped her face. "And I don't care. I want you anyway. I need you anyway. What happens in 10 days when my 2 weeks are up?" Dante's expression shuddered. "You leave. Go back to your life. Forget about me and Sophia." "Is that what you want?" "It's what's smart, what's safe. That's not what I asked." He closed his eyes. When he opened them, Elena saw everything he wouldn't say. "No, it's not what I want. I want you to stay. I want Sophia to have someone who loves her the way you do. I want things I have no right to want. What if I want them too? Then we're both fools." But he kissed her again. Beautiful, hopeless fools. That evening, Marco pulled Dante aside, his expression grim. Elena saw Dante's face go hard, saw him nod once, then excuse himself. He didn't come down for dinner. At midnight, Elena went looking for him. The study door was cracked. Inside, Dante sat at his desk, staring at his computer, his face illuminated by harsh blue light. He looked older, harder. "Dante." He looked up, and for a second, she saw raw fury before he locked it down. "You should be in bed. So should you. What's wrong?" "Nothing you need to worry about." "Don't do that. Don't shut me out." Dante stood abruptly. "This is my world, Elena. My problems. You don't get to demand access just because we kissed." The words stung. "Is that what this is? Just a kiss? What else would it be? You're here for Sophia. That's all. You said you were falling in love with me. I said a lot of things in the heat of the moment. Doesn't make them true." She stared at him. "You're pushing me away because something scared you today. Analyze me all you want. Doesn't change reality." "What reality? That you're in danger?" "I already knew that. I'm still here." "You shouldn't be." He moved around the desk. "This was a mistake. You staying, me letting myself." He stopped. "In 10 days you're leaving. Until then, keep your focus on Sophia. That's what I'm paying you for. Paying her, like she was an employee." Elena's vision blurred. "Fine. If that's what you want. It's what's smart. You keep saying that. But maybe smart isn't always right." Elena turned to go. "Whatever happened today, you don't have to do it alone. But if you want to shut me out, I can't stop you." She left before he could respond. Didn't see the way his face crumpled, the moment she was gone. Didn't see him lean against the desk, head in his hands. Didn't see the open email on his computer. The one from an FBI contact warning that the Bureau was building a case. That they were coming for him within the month. That anyone associated with him would be pulled into the investigation. Dante had spent the evening calculating options. None ended well. Not for him. And definitely not for Elena if she stayed. So he'd done what he always did when he cared about someone. He pushed them away before his world could destroy them. It was the right choice. So why did it feel like he'd ripped out his own heart? The next few days were torture. Elena kept her distance, focused on Sophia. Barely spoke to Dante except when necessary. Polite, professional, cold. It was exactly what he'd asked for, and it was killing him. Sophia noticed. "Why are you and Elena fighting?" "We're not fighting, Principessa." "Yes, you are." She doesn't smile anymore. "And you look sad." Sophia's lip trembled. "Did I do something wrong?" "No, baby. You didn't do anything." Dante pulled her close. "Sometimes adults are just complicated. I don't want Elena to leave. She makes you happy. She makes me happy. Can't she stay forever? Dante's chest constricted. She has her own life. We can't ask her to give that up. Why not? We're her family now. Out of the mouths of babes. Sophia had said so simply what Dante was too afraid to admit. They had become a family, and he was about to lose it. On the 10th day, everything fell apart. Elena was in the garden with Sophia when Marco came running. Miss Cruz, inside. Now. What's happening? FBI's at the gate. They have a warrant for the boss's arrest. Elena's stomach dropped. Sophia, we'll be fine. They can't question a minor without a guardian. But they're going to want to know who you are. Inside, the house was chaos. Men in suits moving through rooms, and in the center, Dante stood with wrists, in handcuffs, his face a mask of cold fury. His eyes found Elena. She saw regret, apology, fear for her. Dante Moretti, you're under arrest for racketeering, conspiracy to commit murder, and money laundering. Papa! Sophia screamed, trying to run to him. Elena caught her, held her back. It's okay, baby. But Sophia was inconsolable, sobbing as federal agents led her father away. Dante looked back once. I'm sorry, he mouthed. Then he was gone. An agent approached Elena. Older woman, sharp eyes. I'm Special Agent Rodriguez. I need to ask you some questions. I'm his daughter's caretaker. That's all. You've been living here for 10 days. I need to know what you've seen, what you know about his operations. Nothing. I'm here for Sophia. I don't know anything about his business. Agent Rodriguez studied her. Lying to a federal agent is a crime. I'm protecting a 6-year-old who just watched her father get arrested. Now, unless you plan to arrest me, I need to take care of her. The agent's expression softened slightly. We'll need a formal statement. But for now, you can go. She handed Elena a card. If you remember anything, call me. Elena took the card without looking. She carried Sophia upstairs, away from the chaos. Sophia cried for an hour, sobbed until she had nothing left. Elena held her through all of it, singing softly, promising things she wasn't sure she could deliver. Your papa is going to be okay. He has lawyers. Good ones. But what if they don't? What if he has to go to jail forever? Elena didn't have an answer, so she just held tighter and hummed the lullaby. When Sophia finally fell asleep, Elena found Marco in the security office. How bad is it? Marco looked at her for a long moment. Bad. The feds have been building this case for 2 years. Wiretaps, financial records, witnesses. They're going for RICO charges. If convicted, he's looking at 25 to life. Elena's world tilted. 25 years? Minimum. Marco's voice was flat. The boss knew this was coming. That's why he pushed you away, trying to protect you from getting caught up in it. He could have told me. Could he? Would you have left if he'd asked? Elena closed her eyes. I would have stayed. Exactly. And then you'd be in federal custody right now. Maybe charged as an accessory. Definitely with your name all over the news. Marco's expression was almost sympathetic. The boss did what he thought was right. What happens now? He'll be arraigned tomorrow. His lawyers will try for bail, but unlikely with these charges. He'll be held pending trial. Marco paused. And you need to decide what you're going to do. What do you mean? The boss arranged for severance. 3 months' salary, already in your account. He assumed you'd want to leave. What about Sophia? She'll go to her mother. Katerina's already been notified. Flying back tomorrow. Elena's stomach turned. You're just going to send her back after everything? It's not our choice. Katerina has legal custody. And if I don't want to? Marco looked at her like she was insane. Then you're a fool. The boss pushed you away for a reason. Honor that. Protect yourself. But as Elena climbed the stairs, she knew she couldn't do that. Couldn't walk away. Not from Sophia, who'd already been abandoned by too many people. And not from Dante, who'd pushed her away because he loved her enough to try to save her. She'd told him once that families stay together. It was time to prove she meant it. The arraignment was a circus. News crews, reporters shouting, photographers jostling. Elena watched on TV. Sophia curled against her side. Dante looked exhausted, defeated. But when the judge asked how he pleaded, his voice was strong. Not guilty, Your Honor. Bail was denied. Flight risk with too many resources. He'd be held at the federal detention center pending trial. Sophia watched it all, her little face pale. He's not coming home, is he? Not yet. But we're going to visit him. I promise. Mommy won't let me. Then we'll find a way. You are not losing your father. Not if I have anything to say about it. Katerina arrived that afternoon in a cloud of perfume and performative concern. She swept in, scooping Sophia into her arms. My poor baby. This must be so traumatic. Sophia went rigid, didn't hug back, didn't speak. Katerina looked at Elena. I suppose you're the nanny? Thank you for taking care of her. I'll take it from here. Actually, I'd like to continue working with Sophia. Katerina's eyebrows rose. That won't be necessary. Sophia will be coming home with me. To my house, where there are no criminals. This is Sophia's home. This is a crime scene. Sophia needs stability. Not whatever chaos Dante was providing. Sophia needs her father. Her father is in federal prison. Her father is innocent until proven guilty. And Sophia loves him. Needs him. You can't just cut him out. Katerina's eyes narrowed. I don't know who you think you are, but you have no say in my daughter's life. Pack her things. We're leaving in an hour. Elena wanted to argue. But she saw Marco in the doorway, subtly shaking his head. Pushing Katerina would only make things worse. Can I at least say goodbye? Katerina waved dismissively. Make it quick. Elena took Sophia upstairs. The little girl was shaking, tears streaming. I don't want to go with her. I want to stay here. With you. I know, baby. But your mommy has legal custody. I can't stop her. Then come with me. Please. I don't think your mom would allow that. Sophia's face crumpled. Everyone leaves. Papa said you wouldn't leave, but you are. Just like everyone else. The accusation hit like a physical blow. I'm not leaving you. Even if I can't live with you, I'll still be here. I'll call every day. I'll visit. Liar. Everyone says they'll stay. No one ever does. Sophia, get out. Just get out. I don't want you here anymore. Elena felt tears burning. I love you, sweetheart. That's not going to change. Even if you hate me right now, I love you. She left before Sophia could scream again. Left the little girl sobbing, surrounded by stuffed animals and the remnants of a life being ripped apart. Marco found her in the hallway. She'll understand eventually, when she's older. That doesn't help her now. Elena choked out. She thinks I abandoned her. You didn't. Didn't I? I could fight for custody. Hire a lawyer. You'd lose. You have no legal standing. You've known her for 10 days. Katerina is her mother. No judge would side with you. So I do nothing? You do what the boss asked. Keep yourself safe. Trust that Sophia is strong enough. But as Elena packed, as she watched Katerina load Sophia into a car, as Sophia looked back with betrayed eyes, Elena knew she couldn't do that. She'd told Dante that families don't give up. It was time to prove she meant it. Elena spent 3 days planning, called every favor, exhausted every connection, spent money she didn't have on lawyers. The answer was always the same. No legal right to Sophia. No standing for custody or visitation. She was nothing. A stranger who'd been in Sophia's life for 10 days. It didn't matter that she loved that little girl. The law didn't care about love. So she did the only thing she could think of. She called Agent Rodriguez. I need to see Dante Moretti. That's not how it works. I have information about his business. But I'll only talk to him first, face to face. Silence. Then, what kind of information? The kind that could help your case. But I need to see him first. Why? Because I need to know if he's worth protecting. The lie tasted like ash. If I'm going to cooperate, I need to look him in the eye. More silence. I'll see what I can do. 2 days later, Elena sat in a private room at the detention center, waiting, hands shaking, stomach in knots. The door opened. Dante walked in, flanked by guards, wearing orange that should have looked ridiculous, but just made him look more dangerous. His eyes widened. Elena, what are you doing here? The guards stepped outside. Elena stood. I told Agent Rodriguez I had information. It was the only way they'd let me see you. Dante's expression hardened. Don't cooperate with them. I'm not. I lied to get in here. I don't know anything. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell them. Then why are you here? I pushed you away to keep you safe. I know, Marco told me. About you trying to protect me. Elena's eyes burned. But I didn't want to be protected. I wanted to be with you. With Sophia. What? A life with a convicted felon? Years of waiting while I rot in prison. Dante's voice turned harsh. That's not a life. You're not convicted yet. It's only a matter of time. The evidence is overwhelming. My best bet is a plea deal. Maybe 15 years if I give up my associates. Are you going to? No. I don't betray the people loyal to me. Even if it costs me everything. Elena reached across the table. Sophia is falling apart without you. Pain flashed across his face. She has her mother. Her mother who's trying to erase you from Sophia's life. She's scared and angry and thinks everyone abandons her. She needs you. I can't help her from in here. You can fight. Refuse the plea deal. Fight for your innocence. Why do you care? You should hate me. I care because I love you, both of you. And I'm not walking away just because things got hard. Elena, I know you think you're protecting me, but you're not. You're just making us miserable. She leaned forward. I'm not asking you to let me fix everything. I'm just asking you to let me stay. To fight alongside you. Dante stared at her like she was something impossible. You understand what you're signing up for? Years of this. Visiting rooms. My name dragged through mud. Reporters following you. Your life torn apart. I understand. You could have a normal life. Meet someone good and clean and safe. I don't want normal. I want you. I want movie nights with Sophia. I want your terrible coffee. I want arguments about parenting. I want all of it. Dante closed his eyes. When he opened them, they were bright with unshed tears. I love you. God help me. I love you. And I'm terrified of what that means. Then be terrified with me. But don't shut me out. Let me fight for you. For us. For Sophia. How? You have no legal standing. Katerina won't let you near her. Then we get creative. Your lawyers fight the federal case. What if we also fight for custody? Prove Katerina is unfit. That Sophia's emotional health requires contact with you and with me. That could take months. Years. Then we take months or years. But we don't give up. You told Sophia that family stays together. Prove it. Dante turned his hand over, lacing their fingers. You're going to be dragged through hell. I've been through hell before. I survived. Besides, I'll have you. The guard rapped on the glass. Time was up. Dante stood, not letting go of her hand. I'm hiring a family lawyer. We're fighting for joint custody. And I'm going to trial. No plea deals. I'm fighting for my freedom. That's my guy. When I get out, and I will, I'm going to make this right. Give you and Sophia the life you deserve. Just give us you. That's all we need. He leaned forward, and the guard started to intervene. But Dante kissed her anyway. Quick, desperate, full of promise. I love you, Elena Cruz. Thank you for not giving up on me. Never. Not in a million years. She walked out with her head high and her heart determined. She had no idea how they'd win this fight. The odds were impossibly stacked. But she'd meant what she said. She wasn't giving up. They'd fight. They'd claw through legal battles and federal investigations, and Katerina's objections. And maybe, just maybe, they'd win. 3 months later, Elena stood in a courtroom watching Dante's lawyers eviscerate the prosecution's case. Watching witnesses crumble under cross-examination. Watching the federal case fall apart piece by piece. The evidence was circumstantial, the witnesses unreliable, the wiretaps legally questionable. When the jury came back with a verdict of not guilty on all counts, Elena's legs almost gave out. Dante turned, his eyes finding hers. She saw relief, disbelief, joy, freedom. The custody battle took another 4 months. 4 months of lawyers and social workers and court dates. 4 months of Katerina fighting every step. 4 months of supervised visits where Sophia barely spoke, too hurt to trust. But slowly, gradually, the little girl began to heal. Began to believe her father wasn't going anywhere. That Elena meant it when she said she was staying. The judge finally ruled in their favor. Joint custody. Sophia would split time, but Dante would have primary physical custody. And Elena, recognized as a stable parental figure, was granted legal rights to be involved in Sophia's care. It wasn't perfect, but it was theirs. On their first night truly together, in the house where this impossible journey started, they had dinner as a family. Dante cooked, badly. Elena fixed his mistakes. Sophia laughed at both of them. Everything felt right. Later, after Sophia was in bed, Dante found Elena on the terrace where they'd stood months ago. "I never thanked you. For staying. For fighting. For not giving up." Elena leaned back against his chest. "You did the same. You fought for Sophia. For us. You proved you're more than what the world thinks. I'm still dangerous. Still have enemies. Still live in a world that's violent. I know. But you're also a father who learned to show up. A man who chose love over fear. And you're mine." Dante smiled. The real smile he saved for her and Sophia. "Marry me." Elena blinked. "What?" "Marry me. Not because it's smart, but because I love you. Because you're already Sophia's mother in every way that matters. Because I want to spend the rest of my life proving I deserve you." He pulled out a ring. Simple, elegant, perfect. "Marry me, Elena Cruz." Elena looked at the ring, at his face, at the house where Sophia slept peacefully. She thought about the night she'd saved a choking child. The night that led here, to this moment, to this impossible, beautiful life. Yes, I'll marry you." Dante kissed her, and Elena felt the last piece of her broken heart slot into place. They'd survived federal investigations and custody battles and their own worst instincts. And they'd won. Not because the road was easy, but because they'd traveled it together. 6 months later, they got married in the garden where Sophia had first smiled again. Small ceremony. Close friends. Marco stood as best man. Sophia was flower girl and cried happy tears. Dante wrote his own vows. Promised to be the man Elena deserved, the father Sophia needed, to choose love over fear every single day. Elena promised the same. To stay even when things got hard. To fight for their family. To never give up. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, Sophia cheered louder than anyone. That night, with Sophia asleep and the stars bright overhead, Dante held his wife on the terrace where their story had really begun. "Do you ever regret it?" That night at the restaurant. Saving Sophia. Getting tangled up with us. Elena looked up at him. Not for a second. Even knowing everything we went through. Especially knowing everything. "You gave me a family, Dante. You gave me purpose. You gave me a life worth fighting for. You gave me those things too. You saved my daughter's life. Then you saved mine. We saved each other. That's what family does." Inside, they heard Sophia call out. Not scared, just checking they were there. They went to her together, both sitting on the edge of her bed, holding her hands. "I had a dream. We were at the beach. All of us. And we were happy. We are happy," Dante said. "I know. But in my dream, we stayed happy forever." Elena and Dante looked at each other over their daughter's head. They'd been through hell. Had scars to prove it. But they'd survived. "Then that's what we'll do," Elena promised. "We'll stay happy forever." It was a big promise. Maybe impossible. But they'd already done the impossible. They'd become a family. And that was the biggest miracle of all. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.